In 1983, a series of audacious bank robberies stunned Johannesburg, South Africa. Three men walked into the trust bank, calmly handed over empty bags, and politely asked the teller to fill them with cash. No yelling, no violence, no weapons, just a calculated and smooth heist. Minutes later, they vanished without a trace. Before the day ended, three more banks were hit with the exact same strategy. Law enforcement was left scrambling. How could such robberies unfold so quickly and efficiently? Who were these men that seemed to defy all odds? The answer was far more shocking than anyone could imagine. The mastermind wasn't just any criminal. He was a decorated police officer. What followed became one of the boldest crime sprees in African history. Born in 1946 in Transvaal, South Africa, Andre Stander seemed destined to follow a conventional path. As the son of a police officer, expectations were placed on him early to join the force. After graduating high school, Andre enrolled at the South African Police Training College near Pretoria. He excelled, passing with flying colors and earning the respect of his peers. His father, the principal of the academy at the time, played a significant role in Andre's rapid rise. By the age of 26, Andre had been promoted to captain, an achievement few could claim so young. Shortly afterward, he joined the Kempton Park Criminal Investigation Department, quickly gaining a reputation as an effective detective. But beneath the accolades and promotions, Andre harbored a deep dissatisfaction. He felt his life had been chosen for him, with little room for his personal aspirations or dreams. As South Africa was racked by the turmoil of apartheid in the 1970s, Andre's professional and personal life began to unravel. The 1970s were a turbulent period for South Africa. The apartheid regime had entrenched itself, and resistance against racial segregation policies was met with brutal force. In 1976, during the Soweto uprising, Andre witnessed one of the most harrowing events of his life. Police opened fire on unarmed schoolchildren protesting apartheid policies, killing 176. This incident left a permanent scar on Andre, shaking his faith in the institution he served. Around the same time, Andre's personal life fell apart. After divorcing his wife due to irreconcilable differences, he learned she was pregnant with his child. Attempting to reconcile, the couple remarried, but their second attempt at marriage fared no better, ending in another divorce. By the late 1970s, Andre was a man adrift, disillusioned with both his career and his personal life. Amidst the chaos of his life and the unrest in the country, Andre made a shocking decision. He would rob banks. As a police officer and detective, he knew the inner workings of the banking system, law enforcement's response times, and how to exploit procedural gaps. He had spent years on the right side of the law, and now planned to use his knowledge to execute perfect crimes. His first robbery was as audacious as it was flawless. In 1977, during a lunch break at work, Andre left his office in Johannesburg, drove to the airport, and bought a ticket to Durban, some 500 kilometers away. Airport security was lax in those days, allowing him to carry a revolver without scrutiny. Upon landing, he rented a car, donned a wig and mustache to disguise himself, and drove to a local bank. At the bank, Andre calmly approached the cashier, discreetly showed her his revolver, and handed her an empty bag. The cashier, confused but intimidated, filled the bag with cash. Without causing a scene, Andre exited the building, returned to the airport, and boarded the next flight back to Johannesburg. By the time the police were alerted, Andre was back at his desk, resuming his workday as if nothing had happened. The heist was executed so cleanly that it baffled investigators. For Andre, it was just the beginning. Between 1977 and 1980, Andre robbed nearly 30 banks, amassing a small fortune. His knowledge of police procedures gave him an unparalleled advantage. He understood how to avoid detection, timing his heists to coincide with his breaks at work, and returning before anyone noticed his absence. Andre's approach was meticulous. He kept his operations small, stealing only a few thousand rand per heist. This strategy reduced the likelihood of raising red flags and prolonged his criminal career. Over 3 years, he stole an estimated 100,000 rand, equivalent to $190,000 USD, which he used to buy a house, a car, and fund a souvenir shop partnership in Johannesburg. The shop served as a front to launder his stolen money. However, Andre couldn't resist confiding in his business partner, Car Van Deventer, about his criminal activities. During a party in late 1979, Andre casually suggested that they rob a bank together. Van Deventer, who secretly worked for South Africa's Bureau of State Security, BOSS, reported Andre's admission to his superiors. BOSS agents staked out a car linked to Andre, abandoned at the Jan Smuts airport. Inside, they found disguises, weapons, and other robbery tools. They waited patiently for weeks, hoping Andre would return to retrieve the vehicle. Their patience paid off. In early 1980, Andre returned to the car, retrieved his gear, and boarded a flight to Durban. Agents allowed him to commit one final robbery before confronting him. Upon his return to Johannesburg, they intercepted him in the parking lot. With no plausible explanation for the cash in his possession, Andre was arrested on the spot. In May 1980, Andre was sentenced to 75 years in prison, with 17 years to be served concurrently. Stripped of his badge and imprisoned at Zonderwater Maximum Security Prison, Andre's story seemed to have reached its end. But Andre wasn't done yet. Inside prison, Andre befriended fellow bank robber Alan Hale. The two bonded over their shared disdain for apartheid and their philosophical opposition to the system they believed exploited ordinary citizens. Andre's charisma and daring earned him the respect of his fellow inmates, and he began plotting his escape. On August 11, 1983, Andre saw his opportunity. During a physiotherapy session, he and another inmate, Patrick McCall, overpowered the guards, stole their weapons, and fled in the physiotherapist's car. They evaded capture by stealing a police van at a nearby farmhouse and using it to bypass roadblocks. The two fugitives quickly resumed Andre's old activities. Over the next few months, they robbed several banks, amassing thousands of rand. Their exploits attracted media attention, and soon, the name Stander Gang became infamous. In October 1983, Andre and Patrick executed a daring prison break to free Alan Hale. Together, the trio embarked on a spree of bank robberies, often hitting 3 to 4 banks in a single day. Their calm, non-violent approach to crime, combined with their audacity, made them legends in the criminal underworld. By early 1984, law enforcement intensified its efforts to capture the Stander Gang. Surveillance cameras captured clear images of the gang members, which were widely circulated. This led to multiple tips from the public, including reports from women who had visited the gang's hideouts. Realizing the net was tightening, Andre fled to the United States, while Alan Hale and Patrick McCall stayed behind. Patrick was eventually killed in a police shootout, and Alan fled to Europe, where he was later arrested. In Florida, Andre attempted to start a new life under a false identity. However, his penchant for risk led to his undoing. After stealing a car from police custody, Andre was confronted by officers. During the encounter, he tried to disarm an officer but was fatally shot. His death marked the end of one of South Africa's most infamous criminals. The story of Andre Stander is one of contradictions. A police officer who became a criminal, a man who robbed banks while condemning the system that allowed them to flourish. His exploits remain legendary, a reminder of how ambition, disillusionment, and daring can converge to create a criminal legacy.